Hey everybody and welcome to Chairman of the Board. Today I'm talking about the Chronicles of Crime, which is a kind of a cooperative murder mystery style game in the vein of classics like Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, except this one uses an app as the kind of driving force behind the game, as you can download and play loads of different scenarios using the same components that come in the kind of the core box of the game, because all you're going to get in the game is basically a bunch of cards and which represent different people and different like evidence and items and stuff like that. And all those items have a QR code, and you kind of use them with the app to communicate with different people and talk about certain things to try and find out who's done what and why. Now, I backed this on Kickstarter basically through pure kind of, curiosity, because I thought the idea of it is so fascinating, and just the potential and what you can do with this system is just kind of infinite in a way. And so I was very intrigued to play it. And I played a few scenarios now, and I have to say, this game has completely lived up to my expectations. I had really high hopes for it because, as I said, the potential was there. But they've done a fantastic job of using the technology they've got here. It's so fascinating, and so it kind of brings, as I said, the games like Consulting Detective into this day and age of board gaming, and it just really does take it to the next level, because not only it's not so static, it's more dynamic, and you can kind of travel to different places and meet different people there, and as new evidence becomes apparent, then different people's perspective and kind of demeanor changes as the game goes on. It's really fascinating, and it's just a huge credit to the designers, the job they've done here. I had to say, I was kind of thought like it wasn't going to go to the depths that I thought it was going to go. Literally after the second, I think, scenario it was, I was like, wow, that's quite deep, that's quite dark. And it really did kind of throw me a bit, because I thought it was going to be more kind of family friendly. And tell me, this game does kind of go into some kind of depraved areas, and that really does intrigue me. It uses VR glasses as well, which you can kind of investigate these crime scenes, which are 3D, and you're exploring the room, trying to find evidence and explain to your teammates which cars to pick up, so you can kind of look into them further. It really is immersive, and it's just fantastic. I'm so fascinated with this, and I just cannot wait to play more and more of it. And just the idea of like the idea that they can kind of load more and more scenarios onto their kind of app, and you can just constantly play new ones, is just a brilliant idea and adds almost infinite replayability, as I said. I just really enjoyed this one. It's a great activity to do with your friends, and you can really get into it. And I love the visualness of it, because with games like Sherlock Holmes, you've kind of flipping through that book with the newspapers and stuff, and that is really interesting. I love Sherlock Holmes, but this one, it's almost like one of those crime boards you get when you've got all these different people and you're trying to work out how they all link to each other, and it's just a very visual experience. Absolutely brilliant. Decision-wise, it's really cool, because you're kind of fighting against the clock in a way to try and solve the case as quickly as possible, because when you talk to people it takes like 5 minutes, if you travel somewhere it takes like 20 minutes, and you're going to get a score at the end of the game. So you're trying to be as efficient as you can, trying not to waste any time, but at the same time you're trying to find as much information as you can, so you're in the best position to answer those questions. It's just really engaging. Difficulty-wise, I think it's about right. It's not impossibly difficult, but it does throw you at times. You do really have to think outside the box and kind of look at evidence which you wouldn't normally think of looking at and stuff like that. So I think it's just about right from what I've experienced so far. It's not impossibly frustrating, and it's not too easy either. So it's really a nice sweet spot there for its kind of difficulty for me. The game also plays in a much more succinct amount of time, taking about an hour and a half or so to get a scenario done, which is just about right, because you don't want to kind of go, let the game stay past its kind of welcome and stuff like that. You kind of just, you solve a bit of the case, and that might be like a part of a trilogy or something. So overall, the trilogy's maybe 3.5 hours or something. But in their individual parts are only like an hour or so to play. So it's really nicely kind of, a nice time investment there. Uptime as well, fantastic, because you're always involved, always thinking, trying to think of new leads and new kind of lines of inquiry. So there's no real downtime here, because you're constantly involved, note-taking, trying to work out links and stuff like that. yeah, I love the artwork in this game. The characters are so full of life and so they're just so kind of real in a way, like so much expression and character on their face. And I just love the art direction of this. It's absolutely wonderfully illustrated, and the component quality is decent as well. No real complaints there at all. Card's a little bit flimsy maybe, but just the artwork and stuff really makes up for it. And the VR glasses are good. The app works really, really well. I would say maybe in poor lighting it doesn't pick up the QR codes as well as you would like, but that's completely no fault of the game whatsoever. The theme-wise, brilliant. So brilliant. You will get sucked into this. And it's just, as I said, it's just the dynamicness of it, where you've got to be here, and something's going on over here, so you travel over there. And then you get like phone calls from like the chief officer and stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant. So fascinating. And as I said, it's just the level that this game could go to, and it's already blown me away. But just how far can it go? And it just has me on the edge of my seat, just trying to work out where they're going to go with this, and just kind of waiting for input from really clever writers and what they're going to do on it. And it's just really cool that I think they're even implementing the idea of kind of users submitting their own scenarios which can be used, which is fascinating in itself. So overall, if you can't tell, I'm absolutely enamored with this game. I'm so fascinated. It's brilliant, so much fun. It sucks you in, as I said. When I played this for the second time, I was like, okay, here we go. Then I was like, oh, what? And then developed, and I was like, whoa. And by the end of it, I was like buzzing. This is so exciting. You just don't know what's going to happen next. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant game. Fantastic. I couldn't recommend this enough. If you're into those kind of murder mystery, crime games, this one is definitely one to check out. Don't be put off by the use of an app. You know, who cares? Who cares? Come on. It's still having fun together. If you like your board games without, exclusively without an app, you're just missing out, I think. So that's Chronicles of Crime, an absolutely amazing game, and just a unique experience. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video review of Chronicles of Crime. If you have, please hit like and subscribe to my channel too, and check out my other videos. For everyone else, I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye.